Hey guys, I wanted to make a casual review on the RE2 Remake. I actually really enjoyed this game, which I didn't really expect, since I'm not really big on slow-paced horror games, although it is more suspense than horror, which I guess really helped. I'm giving RE2 a rating of 9.8 out of 10. Starting off with the cons, I didn't really like that Route A and B are basically the same with a few differences. I didn't mind too much, but it would have been nice if Claire and Leon had some different areas they could explore. I know they had like Ada section and Sherry section, but I mean more like the RPD and sewer stuff, where it's like an actual map that you can explore and do stuff in. I also heavily dislike stalker enemies, so naturally I hated Mr. X. He only appeared briefly, however, which made him more tolerable. That being said, the moments he was active were just a pain. I understand people like him because he brings a challenge or whatever, but I found him to be more of a waste of time and just a nuisance since I just either waited him out or circled around him. Since Mr. X only appears for a little bit, and I don't really care too much about redoing the same areas for both of the characters, I didn't dock too many points for my rating. Apart from that, I love the game. I'm kind of neutral with resource management, never felt overwhelmed in this game, and I actually enjoyed messing around with my inventory and planning out what I needed to take. The game always felt reasonable with what it gave you. I never felt like I had nothing to work with, even later in the game when there was less ammo. A lot of people tell you to avoid killing zombies, but I actually killed the vast majority of them, and I was fine when it came to ammunition. The RPD was my favorite area in the game. I like the layout and the general vibe of the building. It could look both comfy and creepy at the same time, which is really cool. I thought the sewers were kind of mid, and I also wasn't crazy about the lab, but they were fun to explore, even if visually I wasn't wowed. I always saved my heavy ammo for any special enemies I encountered, so I never struggled with them, and the zombies were always easy enough to deal with. The boss fights were fun. They actually felt challenging as they put you in a claustrophobic area and you couldn't really just be complacent and just stand in one area, shoot them and stuff. You actually had to move around. I love the enemy designs, especially Birkin. His design and evolutions are actually one of the reasons I got pulled into the Resident Evil series to begin with. I remember always watching how he would just evolve, and that just really just fascinated me. The gore effects on the zombies were also very satisfying and it upped the creep factor when fighting such a basic enemy. All the weapons were really fun to use and I loved finding modification parts for them. It was always so satisfying to see an upgrade for a weapon. It was one of my favorite feelings in the game. As someone who will inspect every corner of a map and go through every room multiple times over, this game was perfect for me, especially with the fact that it lets you know that you finished an area, so I don't have to go over it again and paranoidly looking around to see if there's any item I missed. So that really worked. The way this game allowed me to explore, manage my resources, strategize how to clear areas, and the enemy designs tickled my brain. It tickled my brain in a way that not a lot of games have done. Spiritually, I would have given this game a 10 out of 10. With these reviews, I always feel like there are things I forget to mention, so there's probably more I could have added, but basically, I get why people love this game so much. This was a really strong start to the remakes, and I hope to have just as much fun with the rest of the series. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.